What's good, YouTube? Because of Coffee here. So we're gonna do a Tim Minchin one for you guys tonight. Probably only one video tonight. I do believe it'll only be one video tonight. So this was requested by Isaac on the last one from last night that we did by Tim, which I really enjoyed. The song from last night, the structure of that was amazing. Tim always impresses me with the stuff that he does. He has a very amazing way of approaching his art from what I've seen on the songs we've done thus far. So I'm excited to check out another one. Isaac said this was about mental health, and that's a big topic on the channel. So I'm excited to get into a song that's about some mental health, and we can discuss some issues pertaining to that inside of this video. Thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate you. If you're new here, subscribe for me. We talk about mental health, addiction, world issues, everything in between. Break down all the lyrics, instrumentation. This is a lyric video. I like going the whole 9 yards on breaking the lyrics down for you guys. There's a lot of awesome meaning and topics that we can discuss in here. So that's what it's all about on here. It's getting into those topics and really just busting them out for you guys, because I think that we can have a lot of inspiration and positive influence on each other whenever we really do a deep dive of song lyrics, especially with mental health style songs such as this one. So I appreciate you guys tuning in. Thanks for being here. It really means the world to me that you've supported me on my recovery journey and encouraged me to better my own self inside of all of those things inside of my life. Please go get professional help if you need it. Man, your life can get better. I promise you. You can settle into something better for yourself, and you can inspire other people in the world to go do that same thing for their own self. And that's why I get on here and talk to you guys. I put out another one of my own. I've put out so many songs in the last week, so just go listen to them all. I would appreciate that a lot. Just go listen to all of them. There's no specific one that I want you to listen to. Just go check them all out, because I've been putting a lot of my own music up on here lately, and it's very deep and meaningful to me, and I have a very interesting approach on the way that I approach lyric writing and stuff. So I think you guys might find some stuff you enjoy in there. Just gonna plug that in there real quick, because I've been working a lot on music lately. I appreciate all of your support. Please go get help if you need it. Like I said, we're gonna get into this for you. Isaac, thank you for your request. Because of coffee. A reaction video a day keeps the doctor away. Fuck those apples. This is Tim Minchin. I can't save you.
I'll walk to the freeway to help change your tire. I'll wake you to warn you your house is on fire, and I'll give you money if money will help, but I can't save you from yourself. I can't save you.
Man, I told you guys yesterday, when Tim gets into the emotional bag, it's the same level of intense as the comedic style bars that he has. He's proven it here. He said, "I'll walk to the freeway to help change your tire." That was the first bar of the song. What a nice guy. What a nice guy. It's always nice to help somebody change their tire if they're stuck on the freeway, if you have the ability to. Tim said, "I would do that for you." That's a really nice thing to do for somebody. Like, that's a lot more meaningful. Like, rescuing somebody from being stranded is a very important thing. And Tim's saying, I care so much for whoever he's talking to in this, which would probably just be generalized as anybody. You know what I mean? I'll wake you to warn you your house is on fire. I'll give you money if money will help. But I can't save you from yourself. I can't save you. Yeah, that's facts. I've said that so many times. I've said that on the channel here about my own recovery. And so many people inside of my life would tell me, "You're fucking up. Like, you're gonna fall, you can't keep drinking and shit like that forever. It's gonna kill you. And it almost did. Like, they weren't wrong whenever they tried to tell me that. But I had to figure it out for myself. Nobody could save me from my own self. And Tim's saying that from his perspective, actually admitting it to the person that he's speaking to in this song, that he knows he can do all of this stuff to help and be there for them and do the most important and kind things that you can do for a person, but at the end of the day, he can't save you from yourself if you're going to make decisions and stuff that are going to be negative for your life and everything like that. And that's the message of that first verse right there. I like this. His voice is very beautiful in this one.
When you're feeling blue, I'll send you songs to sing. If the flood pulls you down, mine's a hand you can cling to. And if you fall ill, I will nurse you back to health. But darling, I can't save you from yourself. I can't save you.
There's a backing voice that sounds very feminine, but it could still be Tim because he can hit those notes. So it's hard to tell, but there might be a feature on this. Somebody is doing backing vocals, I think. Like I said, Tim could do those himself. He has that range, but I think that it's somebody else. He said, when you're feeling blue, I'll send you songs to sing. If the flood pulls you down, mine's a hand you can cling to. When you're feeling blue, I'll send you songs to sing is so beautiful. Sometimes just a song can help somebody through their day, right? There's a lot of songs in the world that are just meaningful and can be applied to situations people are going through. And getting sent one of those whenever you're going through something is a very meaningful gesture from someone. If the flood pulls you down, mine's a hand you can cling to. And if you fall ill, I will nurse you back to health. But darling, I can't save you from yourself. Man. It's about how you can rescue a person from everything in life and do everything to help them out. But at the end of the day, if they're struggling with things and they don't want to pull themselves out of that, you're not going to be able to stop whatever happens inside of it. It's very unfortunate. And I'm somebody who's been stuck in that place with my own self before for a lot of years of my life. And I can completely relate to both sides of it. Because after you come out of something like that, like I've said many times on here, you kind of feel an obligation to go help other people that are going through it. And there's a lot of times where I talk to people that I know that struggle with those things, and I just pray for them and hope that they quit and go get the help, because you can really see once you're in a more sober perspective of everything, you can really see what you looked like in that position to people. And when you see people that you love inside of it, you just want to grab them and pull them out of it. And the best you can do is give them the solid advice and say all the things that you wish people would have said to you whenever you were going through that. Maybe things that didn't get said to you that you thought maybe that would have helped. Say that to somebody now, and maybe it'll save them. And I have personal experience with that. I know people personally that have gone and gotten clean over the last year and a half of my own sobriety, and I'm very, very proud of them. I'm really proud of all of those people that took the time to do that for themselves. Congratulations to all of you. It really means the world to me that we can inspire and influence like that. and actually use the channel for something beneficial to people and use my words and what I have to say to the world to benefit people that are struggling and help them pull themselves out of that hole. So that's the biggest blessing of getting clean, is that now I can help people who are stuck in the same place that I was. It's my favorite part of all of it, is that I have an opportunity to do that now, and I have the experience to be able to say the things that will actually hit it into the brain. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's not worded right, or it's said with the wrong tone or the wrong attitude accompanies it, and then people don't want to go get help because they think you're just being a dick to them or whatever. But if you say it in a certain way, the way that you think that would have helped you a lot of the time, that definitely helps out people better than just being upset about it and stuff. You got to be really calm about it. It's a very fine line to balance with having that conversation with somebody.
And if you lose your passport in a country where no one speaks English,
Man,
I will call the consulate for you.
I love that.
And if you one day have a kid who, God forbid, should need a kidney, I've a spare I will donate for you. If you need me to, you know it's true.
Man, that is so deep right there. The levels that Tim Minchin is willing to go to. He's deep, man. He says if you lose your passport in a country where no one speaks English, I will call the consulate for you. That's so specific, but that's my favorite thing about him. He thinks outside of the box and describes scenarios in a way that is genuinely relatable to the most random things that will happen in real life. And I love that about him. It's like you can imagine movie scenes like that. You just imagine like the like the wild family that always goes on RV trips in the fucking movies, right? You imagine stuff like that, or they get stranded in another country and everybody got to rescue them and stuff. That's the kind of scenarios he paints, even in a really deep emotional songs like this. He will still take the opportunity to speak in that Tim Minchin way, and I appreciate that about him. And this next one, he said, and if you one day have a kid who, God forbid, should need a kidney, I've a spare I will donate for you if you need me to. You know it's true. He's like, I would put myself under and like remove one of my organs for you at this point. Like that's the level of care that he has. I believe he's probably talking, I would imagine, to his wife. That's what it sounds like. I mean, it really sounds like he's talking. I mean, he could be talking to anyone, but the way it applies to his own personal life, I feel like this would definitely be a spousal kind of scenario from a personal perspective for Tim. But as a generalization, this is a beautiful song about just being willing to put yourself out there for somebody, but still feeling that helplessness of knowing that if their mental is shattered and broken in some way, no matter what you do, they can't be saved by you. At the end of the day, it all resides in what they decide to do. And that's the unfortunate reality of the life that we live, man. And you lose a lot of people due to that, due to mental health. And I would just like to really encourage everybody to go get professional help for mental health if you need it, because we lose so many people, and it's a shame that we lose that many people to mental health problems, especially men's mental health. Men's mental health is a tear It's actually, it's Men's Mental Health Month, isn't it? I believe it is. So that's something that we really need to think of because guys don't show their feelings ever. Which I'm not saying that they should necessarily be like overly emotional all the time and shit like that. It's better to be stoic inside of a lot of scenarios in life and just be strong and chill about things the most that you can be in certain scenarios. But to just completely shut off and hold everything inside of you is a very toxic thing to do to yourself. And then it boils over onto other people around you because the buildup is too much and you don't talk about it ever to anybody. It just boils over to people, right? And I think that we need to work on that because men's mental health causes terrible fucking shit to happen. You get into domestic violence and you get into men snapping and going on a rage and just really hurting somebody that they didn't necessarily intend to because of built up emotion and everything. And it doesn't excuse what happens in those scenarios, but it's definitely an explanation to the mechanics behind the mental inside of it. And that's something that we need to work on so those things don't happen so much inside of the world. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that one. That one was a hell of a rant. But this is brilliant, man. This is really brilliant, and I like Tim's heart. He has a good heart. He's a very considerate artist, the way he views the world. I love it.
No lover will hurt you, no ally will flee without someday having to answer to me. I'll give you my heart if you think a heart will help. But darling, I can't save you from yourself. I can't save you from yourself.
It's a beautiful song.
I can't save you.
Man, that is really deep right there. We got a deep one from Tim with this one right here. Very deep song. I love the way that he approaches things. He has such a very solid perspective and grasp on the world around him. A brilliant mind, man. One of you said that in the comments yesterday that he has a brilliant mind. He is. He's a very genius person. He has a very. You can tell that not only did he probably go through a lot in life, but he actually reflected on all of it. Right? He actually reflected on all of it. This right here, he says, no lover will hurt you, no ally will flee without someday having to answer to me. Wow. No ally will flee without someday having to answer to me. He said, that is wild. Man. He's like, I don't want you to be left alone. That's what he's saying there. Wow. This sounds like it could also be about his kid as well. When he says that last part right there. It could tie into that as well. That would make a lot of sense. I'll give you my heart if you think a heart will help. But darling, I can't save you from yourself. Wow. Whew. I'll give you my heart if you think a heart will help. Wow. Saying I can give you my all, I can give you everything inside of me, give you the purest side of me. And if you think that's what will help you, is for me to do that, I'm willing to put myself out there like that. But at the end of the day, we still come back to not being able to save a person from their own self. And it's true. You have to go and like I said, in a lot of instances, you're just so messed up inside of life and the things that go on inside of your life that you have to go get professional help. Like sometimes the mind just shatters. Like some people, everybody's built a bit different. Like some people are really sensitive, other people are kind of like in the middle in an apathetic kind of manner. Then other people just really don't give a shit what anyone does or says to them. And like just they sit inside that kind of energy that's just bold and nothing can break them and break their mind ever. And that's generally those are the kinds of people that will do motivational speaking or try to like inspire other people to pick themselves up out of that sort of broken state of energy. Being sensitive doesn't mean you're broken. I'm not saying that with that contrast there. It's good to be sensitive about certain situations in life. There's plenty to be sensitive about when it comes to life, but embodying that energy all the time is going to cause people in your life to take advantage of you and shit like that. You have to find a boldness to stand inside, and if your mental's broken, you won't find that. So then you have to go like let everything out that bothers you and makes you feel sensitive and makes you feel vulnerable. Just throw that out on the table to somebody who knows what they're talking about and has experience, and let them help you rebuild your confidence. And then once that happens, you can boldly stand in whatever it is that you want to do with your life, and you'll have that better energy to approach things that you want to do instead of feeling like a pushover and shit like that when it comes to mental health. Because that feeling is what leads a lot of people to not wanting to be around anymore and turning to drugs to mask their shyness or mask their sensitivity. And drugs will make them more bold and more stand outish in the crowd and able to associate better and shit. There's so much that goes into it on an addiction and a mental health side. They both combine to make this crazy storm that is almost unescapable. And that's where I was in my life. Like the fact that I survived the shit that I put myself through is a damn miracle. It's a miracle from God Himself. I say that to myself all the time. I remember I found faith pretty shortly after I got clean. It didn't take very long for me to start to look into that kind of stuff and get deeper into it. And now it's what I live by, and it's how I choose to spend my time. I spend a lot of time praying for people in the world and just hoping that things get better for people that are struggling. And I pray for other people a lot more than I pray for myself. I pray for the state of the world and what people go through and stuff like that. So that's where I arrived once I pulled myself out of the kind of energy that this song is talking about. And I hope if any of you are going through that or feeling that way, that you can pull yourself out the same way. You truly deserve it. I love you guys. Go get help if you need it. The original video for this will be in the description. Subscribe to Tim, support the artists we have on the channel. That's what we do this for, get that music out into the world, relate it to our lives. This was a really good discussion to have. I appreciate the request. Isaac, it means the world to me. Thank you for this request. I really, really am glad that we got to talk about this stuff. And I hope you guys go get help if you need it. And I hope you guys are living your best life. And congratulations to all of you who have already pulled yourself out of those kinds of situations. We're going to get out of here. I love you guys. Because of coffee. A reaction video a day keeps the doctor away. Fuck those apples. Leave a like for me, comment those suggestions, subscribe up this way, bang the notification bell for me. I'll see you guys in the next ones. I love you so much. Thank you for everything. Have a blessed night. Peace.